Hi readers, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Katie.
And welcome to Not Another Heroine, the podcast where we break down the best and worst fictional heroines, those swashbuckling ladies who have to work a little harder than expected for their happy ending.
Want to see what's next on our TBR list? Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Instagram for a sneak peek at upcoming content or to help us pick our next book.
Pick of the week, do 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 do. Pick of the week, do 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 do. Pick of the week, do 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 do. I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah.
And you have some very strong picks of the week songs.
That's true. I'm kind of running out of like song choruses to go through.
I mean, that one was good.
I'm trying. That's kind of how I feel about the Hurricane Wars. So that's my pick of the week this week. The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon.
Oh, don't even look at me because I am not attempting that one. But this is your redemption pick of the week from last week.
Yeah. So I feel like I owe this book an apology, but also not, because I feel like it also owes me an apology. So let me explain a little bit. So when we recorded the last pick of the week, we were talking about fan fiction. And I don't know that I trash talked this book necessarily, but if I made some negative comments, it's because the first 15 to 30% of this book is a dumpster fire. Like,
that's pretty strong.
I cannot. I cannot put it in.
She's doing the hands. The hands are out. They're attacking things.
There are not strong enough words for me to explain whatever the fuck is happening at the beginning of this book. And to illustrate, I am going to find a tidbit just so you guys can be traumatized along with me.
A tidbit.
A tidbit. Let me find like something from the first. No, what? No, I'm going to read the prologue because I even read this to my partner and he's like, I don't know what was said. And I was like, I read it and I'm reading it to you and I don't know what was said. So we're just going to click, prologue. Okay. Sheets of floating ice seaweed and creaked under his. See, there's a spelling error.
I could not read that sentence.
Thank you. What does that mean? And cracked under his boots as he ran across the frozen lake, making his.
Oh my! I'm sorry to interrupt. Okay, but this is why we have the same brain, because you just read that as floating sheets of ice seaweed, and that's how I read it in my head.
Seesawed,
and it's seesawed. So no, hear me out. When I opened the sample, because I tried it first. I read seaweed and I'm like, what the fuck is happening in this sentence? And then I handed it to my partner. I'm like, how can this book be published? There's an error in like the first fucking paragraph. And he's like, it says seesawed.
Yeah.
But seesawed, that's the word you want to go for?
Because you know when you read stuff and you're like, this is missing commas and it's not, but like it needs commas to make your brain work. Okay, so sheets of floating ice seesawed and creaked under his boots as he ran across the frozen lake, making his way toward the sound. It beckoned to him amidst the other noises piercing the winter air, the screaming, the rattle of crossbows, the roar of cannons, all from the burning city that lay behind the ancient forest at the water's edge. The fanned gaps between the longleaf pines offered...
The fanned gaps?
I don't know what that means. And also, what's a longleaf pine? The same phone. What does that mean? It's like, I have an answer.
I don't know.
Because that's said like 4 or 5 times, so... offered glimpses of destruction in veins of red gold embers, their needle-pricked canopy silhouetted against
needle-pricked canopy? What the fuck?
Silhouetted against a crown of smoke beneath the 7 moons.
It's like this person is trying to be Juliette Marillier and can't.
There's too many adjectives. And then as soon as I recognize that, the rest of this book, like, I couldn't not unrecognize that she just fucking jams adjectives down your throat and is like, yeah, you're describing things. And it's like, this is too much. So what's irritating is the sample is about the amount of time or like pages that you should just skip and then it gets good.
I'm angry again. Just hearing you read that out loud, I'm not venturing back into this book.
Yeah, because so this book started as fan fiction in the like Reylo, Star Wars, Kylo Ren and Rey fandom, etc. I think the author felt that she had to compensate and make it not Star Wars fan fiction, and so she removed it from all of the like space aspects and then shoved it into a fantasy land and just hope for the best. And then for this first like 20 like percent of this book, you were just fucking jammed down the throat of unnecessary world building that really could have just been drawn out through the rest, and like half of it doesn't even matter. And it's just, there is so much going on. And it's irritating too, because I was so mad because this book is $14.99.
There's good coming. Just hold on for a little bit longer, readers. We are going to get to the positives.
And that's why I was so mad, because like I spent so much emotional energy being upset about this book, and then all of a sudden the fucking like storm clouds clear and it's beautiful. It is a really good book. I finished this probably like a week and a half ago, and I'm still like, I really want to read the second one, but it doesn't exist anymore, and they're like, it's not even out yet, and I just have to wait. And I don't like that feeling, and I feel like I haven't had that feeling for a book in
That's saying
years. Yeah. And so I'm just so mad that like, what the fuck happened at the first like third of this book? Okay, now that
do you have it all out?
I think so.
I'm not convinced.
I think so. Because after that, we get the like tasty, yummy, forced political marriage. We get,
I hate that trope.
Really?
It's like my least favorite
wow
device to like initiate a relationship.
I would have thought that would be up in your like wheelhouse. What don't you like about it?
I just don't like it.
That's fair.
I feel like it's I don't know. I don't know what I feel about it aside from dislike.
That's fair. But we get, so I will partake in, a little nibble of some.
Are you feeling hungry?
I'm feeling a little hungry. But we get like a political forced marriage. We get Lost Princess, and she, is, Jordan's rolling her eyes.
Sorry.
These are all the tropes that I eat up like fucking candy.
We have very, very different like trope tastes.
Yeah, that's fair. And then we get the kind of like bad guy redemption a little bit, where he's like a total asshole at the beginning, but then he kind of like is trying to make this marriage work. And so he's like doing things to be kind to her, and like he's helping her learn how to use her magic powers that she's like come into.
Of course, because that's always a theme there. Like,
that's true.
When is the hero not teaching the heroine something about her magic powers? Even in Graceleen, Poe has to teach Katniss.
Yeah, Akatar, and even not even magical powers, but Crown Duel. Like he's teaching her everything.
Poison study. Sorry, it's fine. I'm gonna sit right back. You just keep going.
It's nice though.
It's a little nice nom nom.
It is a little nice num num. I couldn't have explained it better myself. But I ate that shit up. I'm gonna be honest. It went straight in the mouth, and I did not chew.
It went straight in the mouth. If we could have an episode title for the pick of the week.
It's the blue pants, I swear. They're just throwing everything off.
Oh my god, okay, we're gonna keep it together. We're here.
So we get a lot of good tropes. Political marriage, Lost Princess, because what happens is she's been working in this like rebel attempt to fight this all-powerful empire that's like really kicking their ass, and then she finds out that she's the lost princess of this other nation that like has been neutral throughout the campaign, but now they're forced into this position where they have to decide like what they're going to do, and so their decision is to make like a political alliance between the empire and them, and they have a lot of money so they can do something like that. And yeah, but like her character, the heroine, is really fiery but very young, like a bit immature, but is very like spunky.
Oh god, these are everything I dislike. The minute a heroine is described as fiery, I'm like, huh? Does she have red hair too?
No, she doesn't. She has brown hair.
But does it glimmer with red lights under the sun?
I think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like not fiery. She's like, it kind of annoyed me a little bit, but she's, has to be taught like etiquette and like get your shit together. And she still has her moments of just being not civilized. So I appreciate that, because I also have moments where I am, released from the bonds of civilized society, and I, throttle some people and say some inappropriate things. Yeah, so this is my girl.
All right, fair.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's really cute. The tropes are well done. The dialogue is really well done. I think you read in a review that the world like kind of collapses a little bit.
No, the review I read was pretty much spot on with what you're saying, which is they cram too much world building in, but if you get past that, like it's a good, basically enemies to lovers romance.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's basically what happens. But she kind of, what I do respect about this is a lot of the times in these like political marriage enemies to lovers, we get them immediately accepting the fact that, oh, he's now a good guy and I'm married to him and we have to make it work. But I think pretty consistently throughout this, she's like, nah, like you've done a lot of really fucking unforgivable things. And like she is maybe at war with herself a little bit about like her developing feelings for him. But she's like pretty distinctly like, we're still on opposite teams here. And like, I might use you for a little bit of, hanky town business, but
Hanky town.
I don't know. I was trying to think of a PG word for...
We are way past PG for this episode.
That is true. What am I talking about? Yeah, they have like a big smut scene. Well, it's not even a big smut scene. Like it's like a half smut scene. Well, you know what I mean. Marriage of political convenience or whatever. But she still is pretty firmly in the like, nah, fuck you, my guy. Like you have killed a lot of people close to me and I'm not really over that. So I respect that, because a lot of the times the main character is just made to completely forget the war crimes that were committed by their now spouse. Yeah, she does not forget. So I will give her that. But yeah, I really liked it. So if you just skip past the 30%.
Please tell me a better book. I like the idea of this book.
So you are also going to be disappointed by my...
Katie, don't do this.
Because the tropes in this, are tropes you don't like. So the books that I recommended were ones that also had those tropes in them.
Oh my God.
That's fair. So there's a lot of people who have read this book and I did not like it. I read all of them for some reason, but I did not like it really. The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle Jensen.
Okay, so sorry. I've heard so many things about the Bridge Kingdom. I feel like that's one I might like.
You like marriages of political... She's like, her head's on the table now.
Go on.
I mean, that one is a little bit different. So the Bridge Kingdom is these two kingdoms... Or let me backtrack a little bit. So the Bridge Kingdom itself is this really rich island that controls all of the like economic trade between all the nations, and everyone else is kind of starving. And so this really bad king has all of these daughters. He has like 18 kids or something. And he's had them in hiding, and they're all basically trained to marry the heir of the Bridge Kingdom and murder him. And so he has to pick the best of his daughters to be the most successful. And like within the first like 30 pages, our character sabotages the like final decision making so that she's picked, and she like kills, air quote, all of her siblings to be the picked one. And then she is married off to the heir of the Bridge Kingdom, and hijinks ensue. But she also is pretty distinct in her, like, you are my enemy for 3 books. I didn't like it because I don't really know why I didn't like it. Books that just kind of give you the ick a little bit when you're reading them.
Yeah, those are the books I don't finish. See, this is the difference, I think, between our reading styles is you will push through and find something positive about a book, even if you don't like it, and you'll finish it.
Sometimes, but yes.
I have a stack of books that I have not finished and will never finish because trash.
That's fair. Because I really worked to get through the Hurricane Wars.
I can't believe you did, especially after how much like you hated it when you were talking about fan fiction.
Yeah.
This is impressive to me. Like, I wish I had that reading skill. Or I think it's a resiliency. I just don't have the mental resiliency to push through these kinds of books.
Yeah, I kind of doubted that I did too, but we got there.
You just said you read the entire Bridge Kingdom series and you didn't like it. The whole series.
That is true. See, these are pretty similar because I had aggressive feelings about the Bridge Kingdom, but I forced myself to finish it, and I couldn't wait to get the next one either. So I don't know if it's one of those like, when you like hate doing something, but you're like still doing it because you're like getting the like whatever good feeling from hating it while you're doing it. Running.
I love running.
Oh, okay. I thought you were, brain still doesn't process how you like running.
It's like, it's meditative. Maybe that's the...
Oh, I thought you were one of those people that like, I hate running, but I'm going to do it because I'm going to show running. It's my bitch. But you're just a psychopath. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, cool. Check.
All right. I feel like I was put in my place. I'm just going to shut up and listen to the rest of the pod.
I'm sorry. I hate running so much. And when I'm running, it feels like how I'm forcing myself to read these books, where it's like, I don't like you, but I'm going to do this and show you who's in charge. But yeah, the Bridge Kingdom. I think the world building in that one is done way better than the Hurricane Wars. Okay. So if you've read the Bridge Kingdom and you liked it, you're definitely going to like the Hurricane Wars if you can get past the initial fucking dumpster fire. The second one, you're going to make fun of me if you remember this book, A Promise of Fire by Amanda Bouchet.
No, Katie!
Yeah, just because magic powers, forced marriage, they're enemies at the start and then they fall in love. I will say the Hurricane Wars is better than A Promise of Fire.
I feel so betrayed right now. I wanted a book to read.
I know, you're going to be betrayed by all of these.
What's the third one?
So I read this a long time ago, The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard.
I've heard of it. I've never read it.
It was big in I want to say the 2010s, 2014. Oh, I have it still open. It was published in 2015. Okay, so I was vaguely right, approximately. But I think it's a political marriage, but she's actually the bad guy, or not. I'm probably doing a horrible job of explaining that book, but I remember kind of enjoying it, and I think it had similar tropes to the Hurricane Wars. Because I think there's like a tiered society, silver bloods and red bloods, and silver bloods have like magical powers, and they're the people who are in charge. It has really good ratings on Goodreads, but it has like 962,000 reviews and 4 stars. So I think you might actually
give that one a shot.
I would say so.
Okay.
And then I'll reread it if you enjoyed it.
I'll put it on my list.
Yeah. So yeah, those were my recommendations if you wanted to read the Hurricane Wars, or you already read some of those books and you're like, I'm a little hesitant about the Hurricane Wars, which fair. But if you don't like marriages of political requirement,
stay on my team.
I don't know what it is about that trope, but I love it. I will eat it up.
I can't remember a lot of books with that trope that I've read that I've liked, but the one that comes to mind is a book called Hawk Song by Amelia Atwater Rhodes. And it is definitely a marriage of convenience, enemies to lovers. It's the hawk people and the snake people. And they're
sorry.
It is exactly what it is, though. They're shapeshifting. It's a shapeshifting society. So the hawk princess marries the snake prince. And it's a very short YA book about their marriage and how they go from this is a political marriage to, okay, I guess we like each other at the end. It's a very easy read.
Have you told me to read this one?
I think so.
I feel like we've talked about it.
It's pretty old.
2003.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
But that's the nice thing about books is it could be an old one and still good. I.e. Crown of Duel.
Everything always comes back to Crown Duel.
It does. Yeah. But yeah.
From Katie's shelf?
I'm sorry. It is. It is from my shelf.
It will never be from my shelf.
That's fair. Please, someone just say that you also enjoyed this book so I don't feel so bad. The Hurricane Wars. We'll see you on the next page.